Hey, everybody. We have Angela over there. We have me over here. And we have Chucky. He's going to be joining us today. The hypocrisy from the left. We're going to hop right into it.
Chucky.
Here we go.
He brags about all these things he wants to do or is doing, but his actions belie his words.
For the record, this is in 2020. Just FYI. Yes, correct.
Maybe the best metaphor was his claim to bring democracy to Venezuela. There was a big policy there. It flopped. If the policy was working, Juan Guaido wouldn't be in the balcony here. He'd be in Venezuela. He'd be sitting in the president's palace, or at least waging a fight to win. He's here. And the president brags about his Venezuela policy? Give us a break. He hasn't brought an end to the Maduro regime. The Maduro regime is more powerful today and more entrenched today than it was when the president began.
So this was 2020. Since then, of course, we had Biden come in. I think they placed a $25 million bounty on Maduro's head, or not head, but capture information.
Yeah, and I saw a video where Sideshow Bobette was there, blathering.
For those who don't know, Sideshow Bobette. I was just trying to, for clarification, Sideshow Bobette is Biden's former press secretary who looks like Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons.
Yeah, not the first one.
Not Circleback.
Circleback girl.
Yeah.
Circleback. But the second one. Anyway, I saw a video where she was denouncing Maduro taking office. He's not the true elected leader of Venezuela. The true elected leader of Venezuela should be the one leading the country of Venezuela. That was a couple of years ago, I think.
2021, probably 2022-ish, 23, somewhere around there.
I'm not sure the time frame.
Yeah.
When Joe Biden was president of the U.S.
We're going to transition over to the strike that happened, or the extraction that happened over the weekend, and look at the shift from Mr. Schumer.
Can the Congress do about it is the next question.
Well, the next question is very simple, and that is that we have the War Powers Act. That's a privilege resolution, which means the Republicans can't block it. Tim Kaine and I and Rand Paul are sponsors of it. It's going to come to the floor this week. And if it is voted for, if it's voted positively in both houses, then the president can't do another thing in Venezuela without the okay of Congress. We have to pass it.
President Trump say that he intends for the United States to run Venezuela? It was reckless. It was dangerous. And looking at the president's demeanor, he didn't even seem to be aware of how dangerous and reckless it is. Let me be clear. Maduro is an illegitimator, but launching military action without congressional authorization, without a credible plan for what comes next, is reckless. Now, I was in the skiff on December, and I asked the administration, I asked them, are you intent on taking military action in Venezuela, Venezuelan territory? And they assured me that they were not pursuing those things. Clearly, they're not being straight with the American people.
Did he just assume their sexuality?
Okay, first of all, a skiff is a secured space where you have to have a certain level of clearance to be in. Anyway, sure, he was in there, and honestly, I'm betting that they weren't going to leak any of this intel to pieces of crap like him, because the next thing you know, Maduro would be hiding somewhere and make it more difficult to find him, capture him, and bring him back. But especially these liberal, anti-American pieces of crap that the Democrats have in office, and some Republicans and some independents, they don't care about that. They don't care about that. They want their money to keep coming in. They want to keep adding to their bank account, and at the expense of the American taxpayer, the American people. They don't care. They really don't.
And I think that it's funny, I mean, look at Trump unifying Congress. You have Republicans now working with Democrats in a bipartisan way. I mean, of course, I say that in, kind of tongue in cheek, but the fact that just the hypocrisy of this in 2020, oh, he's doing nothing. 6, he does something, and oh my God, he did something. He shouldn't have done that. The problem is these people, they think that, by these people, I mean those in Congress, both sides, and in both houses, the Senate and the House, or both chambers, the Senate and the House, they think they have the power and authority, the say-all, end-all, and the president doesn't. Where were they whenever, and I know I'm going to hear from people, well, whataboutism, but where were they when, Obama was droning Americans?
Or went into Pakistan, an ally of ours, and took out Osama bin Laden.
Without approval from Pakistan,
Yeah.
Or Congress, now granted that could probably fall under, if you were getting technical about it, falling under the, the war in Afghanistan and whatnot, but still not working with our allies, to make this happen. That being said, I'm extremely happy he did it. I have no problem with him going in there and doing it.
No, I don't. I have no problem with any president taking out enemies of the United States. Anytime, any place. I don't.
And I think there should be, the fact that I don't recall any Republicans, and maybe they did, but any Republicans harping on Obama for not going to Congress first. Did they?
It's politics. Right. The drone strikes that killed some Americans overseas.
Well, that I have a problem with.
And I don't know these circumstances. But I'm going to bet that if they were in areas with people who are enemies of the United States, they probably weren't working for the best interest of the United States. So I have no problem with that. I don't. Now, do I want people to die? No, I want people to stay alive and prosper. But if you're one of these anti-American pieces of crap like Schumer, who only see dollar signs and they don't see people, fuck them. I don't care. But yes, Republicans did criticize Obama when he sent drones in to kill these people. Yeah, absolutely. It's politics. I don't like it. I hate politics.
Let's let him blow V8 for another 30 some odd seconds here.
So I've been talking to so many members of my caucus today. Everybody is very, very just totally troubled, worried about how dangerous this is. Let me lay out just a few of the actions that have already been taken to hold the Trump administration accountable. First, Leader Jeffries and I called on the Trump administration to brief the Gang of Eight immediately, followed shortly by a briefing for the entire Congress in the beginning of next week.
Okay.
Wait, they were whining yesterday. Jeffries was saying yesterday, oh, we weren't briefed before and there's no planned briefing for later. Well, it's because it hadn't been announced yet, dumbass. This is another thing that pisses me off is they're not just playing politics for their own financial gain. They're playing politics with people's lives. And it pisses me off because you look at like Hillary Clinton. The people are our people, including the ambassador who died in Benghazi. What was her remark? What does it matter now? What does it matter? It's bullshit.
I think the biggest part about this is just, it's like, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Why wasn't I included? Right. Because I guarantee whichever side, if he had briefed Republicans on it or Democrats on it, somebody's going to leak something. And like you had, taking it back a little bit further, not only does it allow Maduro time, effort, and energy to do XYZ, it puts our troops that
At risk.
performed this at risk. No
Exactly.
Americans were harmed. I'm not sure if any Venezuelans were killed. I haven't heard anything on that, but
I read, and I verified reports. No one briefed me, but
maybe we could ask
32
Memdani if
he was
'cause
briefed.
he's
But 32 Cuban protection assets were killed during the raid, and
okay.
and then one of the local stations here was saying that they tracked they and I think it's news people trying to it pisses me off. Trump says, "Hey, no American troops died," and then they want to go to prove him wrong. So they
It's
said
almost like they want something to happen.
yes, and they tracked a plane flying directly from Mexico to Fort Sam or somewhere here in San Antonio, one of the bases, and they suspect it's an aircraft loaded with American casualties, but they can't verify it.
But it was breaking news.
But it was
We think that something might have happened. Listen to us because we're on it.
and honestly, I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want people to die. I don't care where they live. But if you're an anti-American piece of shit, I don't care. If you're fighting for your country, absolutely do it. I'm all for Venezuelans defend your country, Cubans defend your country, South Koreans defend your country, Americans defend your country. You have that God-given right. Do it. But these anti-American pieces of shit that keep saying, "Oh, we don't have a right to destroy those fishing boats in the Gulf of America." Sorry, it pisses me off. I apologize for the swear.
We'll break out the swear jar here a little bit and see how much money you've put in it already this year.
This year,
and all that money will go donated to painting sidewalks or something. So just wanted to get your thoughts on Chucky. The comments there. I'm sure as well. I know we know your opinion on it. We'll keep on this, of course, with the briefing, the congressional briefing, et cetera, that I think is likely to happen. I'm sure he's going to brief them. Temperature's got to come down a bit, and get all the facts out. Of course, Maduro was, I think he was arraigned today in a New York City court. Him and his wife, and we'll see what happens from that.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts, comments, concerns, complaints?
Still working on our guests that fell through yesterday. See if they're still willing and able. If anybody has any desire to come on and bloviate with us, against us, for us, whatever, let us know. We'll give you a shot. We're tired of, like we said yesterday, and we've said repeatedly, we want dialogue from all sides so that maybe there's a misunderstanding that can get cleared up. You can put us in our place or educate us, and vice versa.
And, at the end of the day, maybe it'll give other people the opportunity to hear, conflicting sides and be like, oh, they're not fighting. They're not arguing. They're not name calling. They're just giving their opinion and why they think XYZ is what it is. And I think that's the end goal for this, this podcast, is to let people get their info out there. And like Fox News used to say, we report, you decide, But at the end of the day, What do we want?
Peace. We want prosperity. We want the Dodgers to keep winning the World Series. We want the Rams to win the Super Bowl. And we want, what is it? Be good humans.
And we're going to strike that Dodgers comment.